And action. I think we're running. And hey, you guys, this is Danny. Danny,
Hey,
say hi. I'm Travis, and we're here. Looks like we got a. Is that cord in the way? Yeah, it is. Great. We have stuff everywhere because we wanted to attempt to make this a good video. So here I am with Danny, and we're talking about Danny's journey. And tell us about that. Tell us where you're at and where you're going.
well, I guess where I'm at is we had talked earlier, and
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we talked about was I'm just I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I've I've gained I've gained so much weight over the last year or so, and knowing that it can be preventable, and where I'm going is I want to be in the best health I can be. For me, my life is 110 years, and to die
Mm-hmm.
young,
Yeah.
and die healthy.
Yeah.
And the way that I'm going today, it's not going to happen.
Sure. Mm. So then, coming up to today, when you messaged me this morning,
Yep.
you're like, "All right, I'm ready." I mean, you've actually had several cycles. How can this relate to other people? I know that one of the things that we had talked about is you desire to not only serve yourself in a way of seeing transformation for yourself, being healthy, feeling healthier, getting to the 110 young, but also supporting others and knowing that others are not alone. They have somebody that they can
Mm-hmm.
join, and you can somewhat be, not somewhat, be encouragement, support, and lifeline for them. Just choose into that as well.
I think that's exactly it, Travis. One of the things that I know that helps me is to be able to see a journey
Mm.
and see somebody else has been through that, not only with all of their successes, but sometimes with their stumbling blocks too.
Yeah,
Something, I'm just having a bad day. For me, that's huge.
yeah,
I understand that they're human, and I understand that they have their bad days too.
mm.
So that only encourages me to go further. And like you said, one of the things that encourages me is to be able to encourage others,
Mm.
and also to be able to help. And I think that vlogging or blogging or doing something, we've been brainstorming, but one of the
Mm.
things is just to vlog
Yeah,
my path
yeah,
and the whole path, because I know
mm.
that just being sick and tired isn't just change your food and it'll go away.
Yeah,
It's a lot of mental,
mm.
it's a lot mental than
Yeah.
just the physical what I'm eating.
Hmm. Yeah, and I've done a lot of life coaching. You're aware of that, and
Yeah.
I've helped people, including myself, and I've been coached myself. And uh, being aware that I actually have helped many people through health and wellness, wanting to release weight and be different, noticing that actually there are so many other variables that are connected to that weight. And that was actually something that I used to connect to as a nutritionist and teaching people nutrition, noticing that it wasn't about as much telling them what to do as much as it was helping them transform their mind around the experience around food
Mm-hmm.
and why they were using it and what was it, why they were choosing a Coca-Cola, why they were choosing something, and what was it that was supporting them or not supporting them and getting them where they won't really truly desire to be. So part of this journey, it sounds like we've talked about it a little bit, and to share with everybody else is to get in touch with what's next for you is to do videos together and to walk through some of the things that you're experiencing throughout your week, because you've had a journey where, man, you really felt really good. I mean, you went from not being able to walk upstairs. I remember you actually experienced a lot of struggles and then one day you called me and said you were chopping wood, and I was like, what, you're chopping wood? And so it's cool to me that you've had that experience, and I know that a lot of other people will resonate with that, thinking, oh, I failed one time already and it's just going to be another one of those times. And I know that you're here in this place, that you're ready to show people, give an opportunity to not only choose into something different with food, but also with their mind and how they can actually overcome that. And through our conversations, that's somewhat of our goal, is to not only have support and encouragement for you and others, but also for the awareness that it's not just about choosing the right foods. It's about, why am I choosing those foods?
Correct.
And how do I change that?
Correct. And to piggyback off what you had said before, Travis, was I do remember specifically moving into a place, and I rented a second story room, and moving into a place, I would have to take a load up some stairs. I would have to take it. It's about 100 feet from where my car was parked to the kitchen, and I would take a load from there to the kitchen, sit down for 5 minutes, catch my breath, and then have to take it upstairs, sit down for 5 minutes, and then go back downstairs and do it all over again. It took me forever to be able to move in, and I did have a journey like this before with you, Travis, and remembering at the end of that that time when I was moving out about 6 months later, and it was only a few months after we had started a wellness journey the first time, being able to walk up and down those stairs and all the way out to the car. And in 45 minutes, I was totally moved out of there, and I took no breaks. And that was something, and then that stumble, where I took something and I took it as a stumbling block and said, I give up because I can't do this, and understanding now that I can use those what we think are stumbling blocks and use it as a learning tool and be able to continue on with the journey. And that's took me about a year, but that's what I'm doing again, is to recreate that journey.
Yeah, and it's not only just to recreate that journey, it's a whole new journey, because as we discussed earlier, there's this issue with recognizing that there was something more valuable at that time when you chose out of being, that youthful, energetic, and it was like I remember you saying allowing other foods to creep in, and choosing in, that's all right. It's going to be a little bit here and there. It's not a big deal. I'll be fine. To me, that reminds me, not to, it is being blunt, but that's how I am. That's how I roll. So it's reminds me of a drug addict, like where they're saying, oh, it's going to be fine. Just a little bit. It's not going to hurt.
Right.
And as we all know, you've probably seen this, whoever's watching this have probably seen the statistics and studies on rats, where they had studied rats, sugar or versus cocaine, and that sugar was harder to get off of than cocaine itself. And there's also the sugar dynamic, but there's also the mental dynamic that's behind food itself in our culture, especially. So that's something we're going to address here with Danny, working together as a team, and really, what are your commitments to yourself and to viewers throughout this journey? We didn't talk about this, but what are up to three things that, maybe even put it into one word, single words. What would those things be that you're committed to?
I know number one is to just be real. To be real. I understand that. I think with myself, to see, like I had said before, to see the struggles along with the successes. Those struggles make that success. Knowing that somebody else is struggling, making those successes even more successful. So being real, and I think the other one is overall. I mean, just knowing that it's not just getting rid of food or just changing your food. It's a whole. You're changing your whole self. Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. I mean, all of those things contribute to who you are. So just because I'm sick and tired all the time doesn't mean it's just the food that I'm eating. It's also my mental capacity and my physical and spiritual too.
Sure.
Those are two big ones. And the third one is commitment. I mean, to be able to, we had talked before we even started this first video, is that video is a huge commitment.
Yeah.
And not only am I going to be committed to myself for creating this new journey within me, but to be able to vlog or have a video and being able to keep track of what I'm doing and who I am is a huge commitment. So commitment also.
Absolutely. Cool. So we have commitment
Mm-hmm.
to be real,
Mm-hmm.
which in another way that you put it earlier was to be, I believe you said vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Yeah. And to be honest with yourself. And then help me with the second one again. It's the whole. It's everything. So knowing that it's not just the food, that it's synergistic, it's spiritual.
Right.
It's,
Very good.
That's awesome. So that's something that if you're watching this and you want to have something to join Danny in, that's something you can do as well. Ask yourself those three things. What are those three things that you're going to bring to this? And do you have anything to share on top of that that could help them start their journey?
I think I think one of the biggest things is to just start. I mean, we talked about that today.
Yeah.
Hey, let's start this video today.
Yeah.
Let's make that commitment. And to I remember earlier today when I had texted you, you had said, no better time than the present. Why don't you come over tonight? And the first thing that popped into my mind was going out and buying myself a big ice cream because I knew this was the end, to ice cream or whatever it may be. And taking a couple, 3 or 4 bites of that ice cream, and the rest of the ice cream is not in me. It's, I just decided that, man, this doesn't taste good anymore. I put something around it to create that already, no better time than the present. Yeah. Let's get started with this. So we're doing that all day long. It was that way, whether it was with the ice cream or this video.
Yeah.
I think let's just get started.
Yeah.
If this is what you really truly feel, let's just get started.
Yeah, there's a great book that I've read, and where I get that philosophy from truly is, and I'm not recalling the name of it. If I don't recall it by the end of this video, I'm going to put it in the comments. However, the concept of the book is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So this lady that had written the book, which
5-second rule.
5-second rule by Robbins.
I can't remember her first name.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome book.
Yeah, she's great too. So if you want to go check her out, check out the book, check out her videos. She has great videos, and email sign up. It's awesome. I love it. But the 5-second rule is summed up really quickly. If you're ever in a position where you don't want to do something, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do work, you don't want to, start the journey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 it. And there's actually scientific behavioral studies that show that counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I go, getting down to that 1, it's actually momentum. So even if you practice that in smaller things, if you're not ready to start a big journey like this, and you really want something small, maybe it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to take a shower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to get out of bed right now. Something smaller is fine. And using that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and knowing that tool works. And that's exactly what we did here. We didn't necessarily count out loud, but we're like, okay, let's do this. It's go time. Tony Robbins also says that, very much so, where right now is the time to take action when you're talking about something. So here we are making a video.
Yeah.
And we're excited. I'm excited, actually, to do this with you. We've been talking about doing videos together for years.
Yes, we have.
And so I'm excited to be alongside of Danny here and alongside of all of you. Here we go. I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before. You don't. I mean, I've coached before, but not on video.
Right.
And so it's going to be an exciting journey. And hey, man, I'm just as nervous, if not more, than you are. So, but it's exciting, and I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, wanting this. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to say? On to the next journey. Where are we headed now? What's next?
What's next is just going, doing. I'm excited about. I'm excited about how I felt a year and a half ago, and I'm excited to feel that and more now.
Yeah.
And to be able to bring you along with my journey. Create that synergy.
Yeah. The from what I would say is like the bring them along on the journey of the yin and the yang, the balance, the stuff that we don't want to talk about and the stuff that we do want to talk about, because that's what life is all about. It's all about experiencing both sides of things, and how can we experience those and marry those together instead of looking at the things that we don't want to talk about and saying that, yeah, let's just hide that. Often on Facebook and things like that where
Right.
things are hidden.
Right.
And that's not what this is about. We're not hiding anything.
Right. And I believe that there's something very empowering about and satisfying about the balance. You were saying about the yin and the yang, and we always want to hide one over the other. We always want to celebrate our excitements,
Yeah.
but we want to hide that, the not so exciting part of our life.
Yeah.
And to bring that in harmony, and the closer in harmony you become with that, the more balanced it is. And when you feel balance within your life, it's so much more easier to walk.
Yeah. That's something that I
path.
desire to bring out this video, is a continuation of that myself, is the choice to bring that forward myself, is like, how much can I say what I'm not wanting to do, and how I'm feeling and the struggles I'm going through throughout this process.
Sure.
And really providing that reality of the whole versus just like, oh yeah, everything's pretty and beautiful over here. And you guys don't know what it's like to be beautiful and amazing like we are. No, we're all the same. We all go through the struggles within the mind and the wins and celebrations of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing, and we're doing life together. Thanks for joining us. Again, any last words before we close it off?
None. I think we had. I've talked a lot about what my last words were.
Fabulous. So here we are. We're closing it off. We're gonna meet again. I'm committing for him in a week. There are some variables that could put that off because I have a child on the way.
Yes, you do.
Actually going to be born very soon. So there may be a delay in a video or in that time period. However, I'm still committed and
Awesome.
still going to make this, create these videos on a weekly basis. So from here on out, you can expect next week's episode
There you go.
of the Danny Show. What are we going to call this?
I don't know.
We'll come up with a
We'll
name.
come up with something.
Actually, we'll come up with a name, and if we get this posted before, leave a comment under this video and let us know what you think it should be called.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
You too.
That's awesome. Bye. Clicky click.